Hello. Oh, here we go. Yes. Ah, the stream is working. Perfect. I just got a tweet. Hello, hello, hello. Looking at the stream manager, I don't think, am I being rated? You're hosting me for 7 viewers. Thanks, CC. Hi, everybody. Hey, Death. Awesome. How's my voice sounding? Is it loud enough? I'm quiet? Okay. How about now? How about now? How about that ASMR, baby? Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So we're doing some live jams today. Um, yeah. So my microphone is an old stage microphone, and it's not meant for voices. It's a dynamic mic, and so I think depending on how I yeah my panning is set to whoa yeah my panning is set to center, but the mic is a little weird. And I think you're going to hear me more in the left or the right, depending on where my head is. Or, yeah, it does sound a little off. That's kind of weird. All the way to the right, all the way to the left. Okay, there we go. This should be a little more balanced. This should be a little more balanced. Yeah. If it's super good. Okay, awesome. I think what I want to start with today, um, what I want to start with is a jam based on some of the stuff I worked on last week, and then I'm going to rip all of this out. And oh, my top-down video isn't working. Yeah, it is. Okay. I want to rip all this out and then maybe patch something new from scratch, which is going to be super fun. I think that should be tight. That should be really cool. So before I do my live jam, I've just made sure that I've tweeted that people know that I'm live. Awesome. Possum. Cool. Where did I get the colored patch cables, Hex Alchemist? I got them from modularaddict.com. Not a sponsor of this podcast. Yeah, they're really nice, like braided cables, and they had the trans flag colors, and I was like, oh, I'll do that. They are awesome. So yeah, Modular Addict is where I get my cables. They should sponsor my show. Honestly, they really should sponsor my show. I'm gonna get started with this jam, but before I do, I'll walk through maybe my setup a little bit and wait for a couple more viewers because I know Cece's hosting me. But I only have one viewer right now, and that's not enough. It's not enough. Any more viewers? So popping my camera out to the, ultra wide angle, you can see the mess that is my desk here. And you'll see I have my drum machine set up over here. Some pedals. The drum machine is going through a compressor and like a pretty serious overdriven compressor. So I can get some really cool sounds out of that. Tell me if that's a little loud. And I have the drum machine set up. I have some pedals. I have my synth, of course, and I've got the bass. So I'll use this setup in a little bit when I'm working more with the drum machine. Yeah, you know what? Maybe let's leave it as is. There's no incriminating, identifying information on this desk. Desk tech collage. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna get started with this jam. I don't know. Oh no, it doesn't work. Oh, Cece, thanks for trying. Thank you for trying. You're hosting me? Thank you. Yeah, Twitch, it's super weird. Oh, you did host me, right. Thank you. It's saying I have one viewer right now, but clearly there's more of you in here, so I have no idea what that's about. I'm going to get started with the jam, and then we can talk about some stuff. I'm going to replace a module in here, and UC8, tight. Weird, Twitch. All right, we got the bass. I'm going to ask everyone to help me do a quick levels check. If I can find my pick. Tell me if anything gets extremely loud in the next, like, minute. This is just, should just hear like a saw wave, nothing crazy. Yeah, cool. All right, it doesn't sound like that's blowing anyone's ears off, which is great. Thanks, Alchemist. You're funny. Thanks for being in the chat today. I'm just going to go off then. Like I said, we'll do a little bit of a performance and then rip it all apart. If you have questions, throw them in the chat. I'll talk about them after. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Welcome. Starting off with something cool and jammy and intense. Yeah, so that is. Seems like I'm a little loud. That is what came out of the stream last week, actually. It sounds pretty different. There's a lot of different parts now. There's drums now, obviously. But that is essentially the same patch here. Switching to another view. Oh my god. That's essentially the same patch that's going on here. But with some slight changes, added drums, different guitar, or different bass part, rather. Excuse me. So yeah, I think you lost power. Oh no! Hey, Day. So I'm gonna rip all of this apart, and we're gonna make a new patch today. And that's gonna be cool and fun. I really want to use this. I really want to use this tone that I've got on the bass, which I'm liking. It's just like so sludgy and gross. I love it. It just makes me want to do nothing but like slide up and down the fretboard. The fourth string is a little loose. So I want to be doing something with that kind of bass tone. But other than that, I don't really have a plan for what I want to patch. But it's going to go well with the guitar. I mean, the bass. So I'm going to rip out all of these patch cables, and then we're going to patch something completely new from scratch. This is the most fun part, really. We're just going to rip out everything. My beautiful, dark, twisted fantasy bass? Hell yeah. Yeah, I mean, I got a bass a couple months ago because I wanted to play, like, extremely sludgy doom metal. And the hand-me-down guitar I had, like a Fender. This girl. Which is a lovely guitar, but wasn't really doing what I wanted to do with it. I wanted the bass for the bassiness. And definitely, like, what I've been looking for and what I've been trying to hone in on is like just something really high sustain, high volume, just like the sludgiest possible bass. That's the goal. So we have a blank canvas yet again. Case, how long before I start writing pop punk and completely overtake you in the pop punk trend competition? I have a drum machine and synths, a bass and guitar. I have all I need, except I have no ability to write lyrics or write melodies for pop style songs. I just, my brain doesn't work that way. It's so hard for me to think about writing lyrics or melodies, like things that go into a pop song format. It's just I cannot. I'd really have to work at it, and I want to work at it, but I don't think I'm going to overtake you anytime soon. Just steal Jeff's. Yeah, I could just steal Jeff's. So we have a blank canvas. Zoomed in on the blank canvas. One thing I wanted to do today was make kind of a classic synth voice with a filter and a couple envelopes, and just like a nice vintage synth kind of vibe. Because I think, like what you heard in the piece at the beginning today, I was working on that. Because I think that goes really well with the bass, because that synth covers over a lot of the high end. So let's start with that, and then we can sequence it maybe. So for my oscillator, I want to use tides. And I like it because it has a wave folder built in. So it sounds just like this normally, but with a nice square wave and a bit of wave folding, it sounds really good. And I'm going to use the keyboard for pitch. Case and bass rhymes. Yeah, it does. Case with the bass. So the pitch, which is something you saw me do last time as well. The pitch from the keyboard, which I realized you actually can't see really super well on the way this camera is set up, but my keyboard that's right here, the pitch information from that is going into this module here called Beast Chalkboard, and that is an octave switcher. So now someone better at having a trained ear than me is going to want to tell me that that's sharp or flat or not even a note, but I'm hitting C right now. It kind of sounds like a C. I guess I could throw it into my tuner and find out. That's a D. I want C. And since you should probably hear this too. That's pretty well in tune. Cool. So now my keyboard controls pitch, which is awesome if I want to make a cool like synthwave riff or something. Now the second thing is I need to create an envelope that lets me actually play the keyboard like a keyboard. Crohn's disease. Oh my God, there's too much license to riff in this chat right now. CC, save all these ideas. Give me a C. Give me a D. What's that spell? Crohn's disease. It's okay. You're good. So whenever I press a key now, this cable, God, tell me if my voice is too loud. This cable controls it, or is the output of whenever I press a key on the keyboard. I'm going to send that into 4 stages of the module stages, which can be used to build an envelope that's like a normal piano. It's called an ADSR envelope for attack, decay, sustain, and release. So that means Tides needs to go through a VCA first. Now, I think a really good VCA is actually going to be this filter with a built-in VCA, ripples. So now we can filter our sound too. Right, tight. And we can control ADS R. So how do I do this right? I haven't actually done this in a little while. It shouldn't be holding on this final step. I may need to consult the manual, which is very embarrassing for me. Licensed to YIF? Oh my god, that's a different podcast. Yeah, it's a bit of a different podcast. So what I'm trying to do with this module is create this third stage, the one that's in orange here. If you can see, so I have 4 stages and one is lit up orange. I'm trying to get that to be a sustained. Right now it's holding it indefinitely. Oh, there we go. Okay. It just had to be on the red mode instead of the orange mode. So now when I play this keyboard, I can make that attack and decay as long as I want it to be. So with like a nice long decay. That's like and obviously I don't really play keys, but I have turned my keyboard and my synth into like a classic synth, which is pretty tight. And I can use that as a sequencer, or rather I can sequence that now to make melodies and stuff. So actually, I would love if somebody in the chat would give me like a nice minor scale or like some notes on the keyboard that we want to build a riff with, because I'm terrible with music theory. I have no idea what I'm doing. Someone shout out like a minor chord or minor triad or something. What else I'm going to do is multiply the signal of that envelope. A sharp, F, C. A sharp, F, C. That's cool, I like that. So right now I've added a second cable here, and I'm putting this same envelope that's making our synth sound like a synth with a keyboard into the filter cutoff. Actually, I need to invert it first. And actually I don't think I do. And what this is doing, it's giving us that squelch, that like nice squelchy. And I might also attenuate that a little bit because I don't want it to have such a range over the filter. What that means is I'm not letting all of that signal pass through to affect the filter. Yeah, I don't have a smooth brain Dith. Yes, Dith. Thank you. You love all the descriptors I'm using for sounds because they're accurate. Squelch and sludge. I don't have music training. I didn't go to big girl school, and so all I have is what it sounds like in my brain, which is like squelchy and sludgy and yeah. And who doesn't love a little squelch and sludge and slime, right? So I have this synth. That's pretty cool. And like I'm doing arpeggios. I work in automatopoeia exactly day. That's right. And so this keyboard actually, if we zoom out so we can see more of my desk, this keyboard has a sequencer built into it, and I'm currently clocking it with the drum machine, so it's getting a tempo. But I can add in a sequence and have it play back like that arpeggio or whatever sequence I want. So trying to find something that's like nice and repeatable that I can like riff on later. Thanks, everybody. Something like that maybe would be cool. So I'm going to try, so this sequencer, it's not very advanced. It's just sort of like a SH-101 style sequencer where it's a linear progression and you can add rests in. So I might just throw like, yeah, let's try something like that. Let's like tap that in. See, okay, again, I changed the timing of the notes, so it's going to come out weird. It's going to sound like this. Whoop, octave problems. Yeah, oh, interesting, okay. So the way the keyboard interacts with the synth, often I think I have octave issues. Sometimes it's really high and sometimes it's really low, and I can switch the octaves here, but why didn't that work? It's a little weird. Let's try that again. Let's clear the last thing. And what's our sequence? Something like that. I'll think of something. Just see if that works. There we go. So now this is just going to repeat because this is my sequence. I can change the timing and stuff too, but it's tied to the tempo of my drum machine. So if I change the tempo over here, it'll increase. So now we're at like 120 BPM, and this is playing eighth note triplets. Let's just go to 16th notes. I actually kind of like the speed. Slow it down a bit. And I feel like already laying down some drums. Let me move my little thing over here. Okay, that's a little loud. got some samples in here. I'm gonna find a nice kick drum. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, something like this sounds cool. So I don't think my mixing is 100% great. Yeah, that's a pretty good drum. Too much delay. So I'm going to lay down some drums, and then we'll play with the synth some more. I just want to get like a beat down. And this is also like, we'll see how it goes. I'm not the best beat maker in the world. I already fucked it up. I feel like I need some effects on this synth. I need effects. I gotta have effects. Let's throw it through our nice delay. Bitches love delay. Delay and reverb. And if you're listening in stereo, which I hope you are, now would be a good time to put on headphones instead of instead of playing it through your computer, because it's going to be stereo. Stereo delay. So same signal, no wet, only dry. And I have a problem with my drums syncing up with my synth here, so I'll have to fix that as well. So let's stick with the synth. This is like one of my favorite features of this module, is it has a tape delay emulation, and when you put it in shift mode, it gives you octaved, stereo octaved versions of that signal, which is pretty rad. I'm gonna stick to delay though. Yes, Magneto this is the Strymon Magneto. It's really, really lovely. I also want to clock this better. I'm just gonna tap it in. It is very big, X-ray. I think it's time to put all these pieces together. And get the bass out. Hey everyone, if you're watching, I keep dropping followers or viewers. I'm down to 6 viewers. What's happening? If you're watching and you're not following me, please follow me. I'm trying to get to 50 followers so I can get that sweet, sweet affiliate and sell out. So thank you. Tell your friends. Tell the 4 people who are watching but aren't watching anymore to get back in the stream. Where did I put my pick? There it is. I need to find out what notes on the bass work with this riff. So it's, I can't remember what notes I chose. God. Okay, that's something. There it is. Oh, I had these in the wrong outputs. No wonder it was so clippy. the fuzz. This deeper sound actually really works for this track better, I think. A little bassy though. Oh yeah, there it is. Live levels is hard. That's pretty tight. One thing I would want to do before turning that into a full track is obviously mixing a lot better. But the other thing that I would do is try to figure out how to make variations on the synth line, because it's very repetitive. CZ, you were jamming along with me? Fuck, that's so sick! Ah, we should do that sometime live. We should do a live cross household stream. But yeah, one thing, Monad Live, yeah, we can use Zoom with a good quality audio maybe to get both of our streams. But yeah, I'd want to give the synth more variety, because it's really samey. Especially without the delay. So I want to do something with that. I can transpose the sequence, but I'm afraid I'll lose it. Yeah, I can transpose it. That might be good enough, honestly. Musical monetization and license to riff. Yeah, this is all part of the license to riff corporate industrial complex. Yeah, everything will be subsumed by the license to riff intellectual property. I actually really like this transposing idea. And there's also other stuff I want to do too. So one thing I noticed when I was playing this is that the filter cutoff is a knob that I was playing by hand a lot. Another contract fraudulated with your signature. Oh, the paperwork's already signed, CC. It's already signed in your name in a power of attorney that I hold over you and your entire estate. Check my channel for recorded episodes of License to Riff, 9cc's Comedy podcast. Yeah, so one thing that I wanted to do... God, 5 viewers. I'm just dropping here. God, tell everybody to join my stream. This knob I was playing with by hand a lot. That's the knob that brightens up or darkens the sound. And I want to mix an LFO into the signal of my keyboard so that I can actually control the frequency with an automatic signal, so I don't have to always twiddle that knob and still get a lot of more variety. So to do that, I'm actually going to mix these two signals together. One signal in this mixer, in this mini mixer here, is coming from the keyboard, channel 1 of that, and channel 2 of that is coming from an LFO, and that will be... Oh, let's use another stages. So I'm setting a really slow sine wave LFO. And now, let's see if I did this right. So I'm going to leave it there. And if I turn up the amount of the LFO, it's getting brighter and darker on its own with the swell of the LFO, which is fantastic, which is exactly what I want. It's still a little fast for me. So I'm actually not going to use this stages. I'm going to find a slower LFO in my system. The other tides. And that's going to be a little subtler and a little slower. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Now it's got like a lot more natural movement to it. So I'm blending two control signals together in my mixer to control one knob, and then that's going out to my other mixer for the delay to actually, be the audio. So modular, it's awesome. Trying to find the right delay settings too, and reverb. And a nice plucky LFO. It's also a little fast to really hear it, but yeah, that's pretty good. It's getting pretty good. It's already a lot more lively. Yeah, that's cool. I've got my insane drums here. they're really aggressive. I think the drums are maybe a little too aggressive. I'm going to turn down the drive on my compressor. Yeah, you know what? That's like better. It's not quite so insane. Overdriven. And they're phasing, which I kind of like when you're actually playing they're linked by MIDI together, but there is some phasing that happens because I think this only triggers at the end of the first measure or something, which I need to figure out, like, to actually know. But I like how they kind of don't fully map to a 4/4 grid, and there's like weird stuff going on. I think that's actually helping this composition a lot. So let's see here. Let's turn this down. This is already feeling a lot better. Yeah, Dave, you're totally right. It's got more movement, it feels more alive, it's got more oomph. Yeah, I think you're right, Day. There's something about the offbeatness and the phasing that really feels like I want to headbang and go forward. Another element to this. Let's add another voice. What's gonna go well with this? I think it would be cool to have like a texture. I don't have elements, Hex Alchemist. Very funny. Sorry, I have a pop filter, but I haven't installed it yet. The heavy breathing, I apologize. I'm going to add another voice, and I kind of want something that's got texture and crackly, sparklies up in the high end. I feel like I'm really missing like high end stuff. So I think that's a job for Rings into Clouds, which if anyone knows anything about modular, you know, people love putting the Rings module into the Clouds module because it just is a really easy way to make something that sounds good. Emily designed those modules, and they're very good. So I just need the right cables here. Short cables. Output. Oh, and I do want this to be stereo, so this might go horribly wrong with the levels. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. So I need to make sure the levels on the synth voice are okay. I've switched the output to a different channel in the mixer. That sounds pretty good, right? Awesome, okay. So I want something sparkly and crunchy in the high end. And I'm going to use this. Oh, something's going on with rings. Okay, well, or with clouds. Let's get to a nice bass line. Turn off the feedback in these digital modules. So I'm sending noise into rings to get some kind of like already we're getting like nice choral type sounds just like for free out of rings. And because I'm smart, I think it's mostly in tune. I redid this beforehand. No pitch shifting today. But yeah, what the clouds is doing is taking the signal from rings, which is this, and as I add in wet, it's chopping it up. It's a granular synthesizer. So you can chop it up into these amazing, tight little like slices of sound. With rings, it's just this beautiful choral, like so I'm also going to throw rings before it goes into clouds through my pedals that are up here on the table, and the two pedals that I have here are a octave pedal and then my crazy reverb pedal. And what that's going to do is just give me more body heading into my effect, heading into clouds. So with both of them off, nothing should be different. And let's try the octaver. More low end. Day, if you can get me in touch with the person that is in charge of doing music for Planet Earth, I would crush that project, please. This is like what I want to be doing. So, you know, just give them a call for me. Thanks. So there's more bottom end than I'd like with the octaver, but the octave up is really nice. keep in mind as I'm mixing everything together. So these two knobs are really important. That's the brightness of the sound. And then how much of the sound makes it out of rings into the rest of the system. So it's a damping control. All the way to fully open. I want to control those with some LFOs so that there's more movement as well. This is like a very common pattern for Eurorack, which is essentially to have a lot of modulation controlling things that otherwise would be expressive, like things that you're going to play. So it's going to breathe a little bit more now. It's going to start like breathing in and out and flexing with the oscillation of the LFO. And everything is going to start to come a little more alive. Bass is out of tune with rings a little bit. Will somebody tell me if my bass is sharp or flat? I think it's sharp. No, it's flat actually, compared to rings. So rings is too sharp. I think that's better. Yeah, I think that's better. One thing is that I definitely feel like I have two pieces that are both competing for tone here. Like there's this choral, angelic, like this kind of like angelic thing that's happening here. Which I love and I'm like very into. But then there's also the stuff that we've been working on, which is I'm not sure if they're gonna fit together. So let's try and fit them together, and then end on another jam. but they may end up being two different pieces or two different types of pieces. So we'll see. Like the synths work well together. I think the drums might need to change. Or maybe I'd drop the drums for the first half of this. Fuck yeah. Oh hell yeah, baby. us out, everybody. Thanks so much for joining the stream. Please follow me. If you don't follow me, tell your friends. Thank you so much for joining.